Hey all, Tina here. Welcome to Beautiful Journey. I am so excited for this video. I get to do a bingo palette collaboration with Erika Conger. She does these so well. When I watched the first video of hers back in December, it was a palette bingo, and I commented and said, wow, that looks like a lot of fun. I'd love to do that with you. And she commented back that she would love to too. So I am so excited. Thank you, Erika. The palette that we have chosen to use is the Blueberry Muffin palette from Beige Cosmetics. I just got this palette about a week ago. I've used it a couple times already, and it is quickly becoming one of my favorites. I love this travel series from BH. This makes my 7th in the travel series palette that I have from them, and I love all of them. I was so sad to see the news that BH Cosmetics has filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy protection. I am hoping that means that they will be able to restructure and reorganize and continue in business and be able to satisfy their creditors and keep bringing us this amazing makeup for amazing prices. But if they can't, then I hope that they can find a buyer who will take those formulas and continue to bring great products to market. There are those of us who just really rely on this drugstore, lower priced makeup in order to have pretty things. And so it's really sad to see that one of them is struggling. And I know a lot of businesses are struggling after these past couple of years we had, but hopefully we'll be coming out of this soon and things will pick up for everybody. So because this is my first palette bingo and I didn't really know what I was doing, I asked Erika to pick the colors. So here's the palette, and I'm going to hold it up higher like this so that the mirror doesn't blind you. And Erika used a random number generator to select the colors. And isn't this pretty? You've got all of these kind of periwinkle and blues, and with periwinkle being the new Pantone color of the year, it's just perfect for that. But you've also got some neutrals over here that you can use to tone down a look if you don't want it to be quite so blue. But I am going to use the colors that Erika chose to create this look. And I will let you know what those colors are in just a moment. I've moved myself over just a little because I want to put the palette up right here so that I can show you the colors as I tell you what we're going to be using. I have all of my face products already on, and as a little nod to BH Cosmetics, I used as many products of theirs that I have. I will list all of that in the description box below, so if you want to check it out. If there's a link to Amazon, it is an affiliate link. There is no obligation to purchase through that link, but if you do, I get a little commission and it doesn't cost you any more. And I thank you if you do that, but of course there's absolutely no obligation to do so. My brows are also done, my eyes are primed, and I set my eye primer with the translucent powder that I used on my face because this palette doesn't have that ivory bisque color that I like to use to set from crease to brow bone to make blending easier. Now, if you're a child of the 80s, these colors might strike fear and trembling into your heart like they kind of do mine, because I get flashbacks. When I see blue eyeshadow, I'm right back to 1986, and they were great years, but there is a way to bring blue into the 2020s, right? So that's what I'm going to try to do today, a little more of a modern twist on the blue eyeshadow. So I'm going to scoot over just a little bit because I want to put the palette up here. Erika picked the colors with a random number generator, and the colors that she came up with for us to use today are Delish, So Good, Tempting, Treat, and Crumble. They are all beautiful, and I really think that we're going to be able to create a very pretty, cohesive look with those colors. All right, so I pulled in just a little bit closer so you can see better what I'm going to do. The nice thing about this palette is that it's not just blue. There are some browns and taupey colors and some of these pink champagne-y shimmers to kind of help ground the look. So you can play with the blue, but still have some of this neutral in case the blue is a little bit intimidating for you. But today, with the colors that Erika picked, we're going blue. Now, if you haven't seen any of my eye videos before, I will do one eye on camera, then I won't talk, and I'll do the same thing to the other eye, but I'll edit that part out. So both eyes proceed at the same rate, but you only get to see one. So the first color I'm going to use is Treat, and I'm going to put that in the crease. Now, because I have hooded eyes, I am also going to put that just a little bit above. And what I learned the first time I used these is that these are super pigmented and don't go in too hard at first. It's always easier to add color than it is to take it away. And so I tap in and then tap off any extra. And I'm just starting to lay down a base of color. And this kind of cool gray neutral tone will help ground the look and just kind of sets up a base to start from. I'm going to take a slightly smaller fluffy brush. This is an Alter Ego brush. And now I'm going to go into Delish. And it's kind of fun doing this right now because everybody's doing their Pantone color of the year looks right now. And this Delish is really a nice kind of periwinkle blue. And again, I went in tapping off any excess. And I'm going to put this actually all over the lid. And because I have that little bit deeper base, it will be darker in the crease, which is exactly what I want. And then lighter on the lid. So I have this gradient of color. And it might end up looking a little crazy at first, but I'm going to blend and blend and blend so that there aren't any harsh lines showing. I'm going to take a big fluffy brush and I'm just going to kind of go over all of that to blend it together and tone it down a little bit. All right, there's two of the colors that Erika picked. I want to take So Good, and I'm going to use this flat shader brush, and I'm just going to put that in the outer corner and on the lower lash line. And to start with, I am just going to place the color where I want it. Kind of in an upswept sort of way. And then I'm going to take that blending brush that I used. I wiped it in my color switch so that there's no color on it. And I'm going to just start circling and blending that little bit deeper color out in the outer corner. I won't do the lower lash line until I've gotten everything done on the lid itself, but I will be using this color also on the lower lash line. And I've gotten this color down a little bit further than I usually like to get it, but when I'm done, I'll show you how to clean that up. In hindsight, I actually should have used tape with these darker colors, but we'll fix it, don't worry. So while I'm blending, I just wanted to say thank you to Erika for agreeing to do this collaboration with me. I found Erika back in December and was immediately hooked. I love her channel. She does some of the most creative and beautiful eye looks, but she's also an amazing storyteller. And it's so fun to watch her do makeup and listen to her tell stories and get little glimpses into her life. And before you know it, you've watched the whole video, and it's just so relaxing and entertaining to watch. So thank you, Erika, for agreeing to do this with me. You are wonderful and kind and funny, and I just love watching your videos. Okay, so since we're going blue and we've got these shimmers to use, we might as well just go all in. I'm going to take Tempting next. On that same flat shader brush, I wiped that off in my color switch, and I'm just going to press that onto this outer third of the lid. Oh, that is such a pretty shimmer. And I'm using a brush. Normally I use my finger, but I want to be a little more precise with where I put it. Next, I'm going to go into Crumble, and I'm going to put it on my brush. So I've kind of loaded up my brush, and I'm going to take a setting spray and just spray the brush because I want this to have a bigger impact. Oh, that's pretty. Again, using the brush helps you to place it a bit more precisely. And I'm going to take that first brush that I used for Treat, and I'm just barely tapping it in. I want to smoke out the top of this color just a little bit and gradient down into a little bit more gray. Yeah. Honestly, I don't know how Erika does it and keeps her train of thought telling these stories, because I write down topics of things that I might want to talk about and I still can't remember to talk about them. So good job, Erika. All right, I am going to clean up just a little bit these edges, and the way I'm going to do that is to just take my e.l.f. Camo Hydrating Concealer and a little flat shader brush, and I'm going to put just a dab on there, and I'm going to go along the lash line where I want to clean up that edge, and then take my e.l.f. concealer sponge and pat that out. And then that will help give a nice line and clean up where you might have dipped down a little lower than you wanted to go. The way to avoid that in the first place is to use tape. You can actually just use Scotch tape, but before you put it on your face, tape it to your hand, pull it up, and that will help it to be not quite as sticky. Or e.l.f. makes an eye tape, and I think Sephora has one. So anyway, that can be helpful, but it's easy to clean up when you're done, okay? And I am now going to take a liner brush, and I'm going to go back into that So Good. By the way, the cake was delicious. If you don't know what I'm talking about, in my last video, the one where I did my project Use It Up, my daughter interrupted with this beautiful cake that she made. And so if you want to see that, go watch that video. I'll link it down below. Anyway, I'm going to take that on the liner brush, tap off the extra so that I don't get fallout, and I'm just going to press that into the lower lash line along the edge and the outer half, and just a little bit along the upper lash line as well, so that I can connect that V on the outside there. Okay? That's so pretty. Then, using a little pencil brush, I'm going to go back into Crumble, and I'm going to get right into the inner corner and just a little bit along the lower lash line in the inside to brighten up that inner corner. And to kind of mimic what I've done on the eye, now I'm going to go into Delish with that liner brush and bring that lighter blue color further in and meet up with that shimmer. Okay, I think I'm going to leave that there, and I'm going to go put on eyeliner and mascara, and I'll be back so we can do lips and talk about this. All right, I'm back, and it's amazing how mascara and liner can just bring a look together and complete it, and I just really love it. I think it's a beautiful blue. It's a gorgeous palette. The formula is amazing. They blend so easily. The shimmers are really shimmery, and I just think it's really pretty. So let's get on some lips and finish this look, shall we? I'm going to use this Thrive Cosmetics Lip Fuller Lip Liner that I got in an Ipsy and line with that. And then one of my favorite lipsticks is this Maybelline Lip Cream in 211 Rosy Risk. It's just a kind of muted, cool tone pink that really goes well with this eye look. When I have a pretty bold eye, I like to go a little more neutral on the lips so that they're not competing with each other. And I just think that that's really pretty. So tell me what you think down below. Are you into the bright, bold colors, or are you more into the neutrals? And did you notice I did my nails to match the eyes that were going to be happening? So I feel a little bit like Madame Blueberry. Anybody else watch VeggieTales when your kids were little? I'm so blue. Yeah, I won't sing very much of it because YouTube doesn't like it when you do stuff like that. But once again, Erika, thank you so much for agreeing to do this collaboration with me. I cannot wait to see the look you do. And if you're one of my subscribers, make sure that you click on Erika's link down in the description box and go over and check out her video on the Blueberry Muffin palette, and then stick around and check out a few more of her videos as well. And if you're here from Erika's channel, then welcome. I hope you'll stick around and subscribe and hit the notification bell and give it a thumbs up and all those kinds of things that we always tell you to do here on YouTube. I provide content related to beauty for the mature woman over 50, but anyone is welcome, no matter your age. And I hope that you'll be able to find some tips and techniques that will work for you. But I do tend to focus on those of us who are over 50. Our skin is just different now than it was when we were younger. I am primarily drugstore focused. I have a few high-end things in my collection, but I came into my collection through subscription boxes or gifts or things that were on incredible sales. I do the occasional haul. It's not primarily a haul channel, but I do buy new things from time to time and share them with you. And right now I am doing also a project pan, but not really a project pan. It's more project Use It Up because I have some items that I panned, and I'll link that down below too if you're interested in that. More about mindful consumerism and not just buying to have the latest, greatest new thing, but buying things that actually contribute to my inventory in a meaningful way. So if you're still around, then I would like for you to list some questions that you might have for me down below. I'd like to do a chatty get ready with me coming up, answering your questions. So if there are things that you'd like to know about me, things that you'd like me to address, that sort of thing, leave your questions down below and I will answer them in a future get ready with me. But for now, that's all. So I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.